Oh, I'm so nervous. Oh my God. The information is coming in so fast. It's just so hard to keep up with everything. What I do want to say is, I'm gonna jump all over the place like usual. Can't relax. I don't want to forget. I wanted to start by explaining the difference between the cards and the dice. Okay. You see, the dice, okay, are the world. It's the one heaven. Okay. The one heaven king of God. Then there's the other dice, which is the one heaven, the king of the natural elements of all nature. Okay. Also, it's divided up between soul, which means earth, and then all the other elements that go along. But the game can't start until there's a controller, someone who writes the rules, someone who makes creation of some game someone will buy and play the game. We are that game. Would you like me to explain a little bit more? King God, they say, is seven. When you have covered the four angles, the four corners of this card, okay, you have covered all the angles. When you cover all those angles, okay, and you have manipulated to achieve it, that means you are now the center point to all those angles. And you see in the 3 card, there's nothing off to the left and right. The 3 is a very special card. The reason for this card is because it's used in more than one way. What they show you now with the 3 clubs is the center one, okay, that carries man, the matrix, the orange world in the blue world, okay, which is what the one at the top explains that in the other world, okay, there are 4 other worlds, okay. The 4 other worlds are only created because God created them. He was dead center. He says, I will create a world of spirit. Boom. He threw that in the 1 position. Then he said, always you have to separate these by 1 because you have to, I mean, when you make creation or whatever you do, it always needs space. So you always skip a spot. 1, 3, 7, 9, the odd numbers, okay? 2, 4, 6, 8, who do we appreciate? Because the odd numbers are all the numbers of spirit, of creation, of birth, and the one man who did it was the 7th God, because he manipulates, okay, all the corners. You see, on a 6 dice, there are 6 dots. God goes in the center and manipulates the 3 on each side. What are those 3? Well, it's pretty simple. One of them is the spirit, okay, but it's already here on earth. 3 is creation. 9 is what comes from the creation is the 6. Okay, when you have the 6, you automatically have the 4 and 5. The reason for that is because you're on a joystick. You're connected to a system. So it doesn't matter what there is. If you want to say, okay, my heart is here, well, pretend there's a cord coming out from your heart, attaching to a system in the universe. Okay, and unplug that and you're dead. Okay, we're connected into this universe. So what happens, okay, is where's the 7? Here's the 7 card. In the 7 card, this is what they're describing. Okay, if you take a look, it shows the north world, the 4 corners, plus the center God who controls those 4 corners. Then it shows the lower world, which is upside down. Okay, is because the 7 card counts for both. 7 means all gods, especially the 7 of diamonds. It means all gods, because that 7 of diamonds red connected, okay, to the earth. That's called the earth what? It's actually, the earth would be 2. It's in the beta world, but the earth's position is 3, and I think we're the 5th largest planet. So anyways, this card over here tells 3 things. It says the soul world, 6, the spirit world, 4. Okay, that's what it says at the top. Then at the bottom, okay, it shows there's 2 worlds. the two basic worlds, and they're whole. It says they're whole, the two basic worlds are whole. But when man uses the 7 card, man turns the 7 card this way. Why? Because the diamonds are now like fish in the ocean. Don't they look like a school of fish the way they're swimming? And they're swimming towards the east, and the hearts at the bottom pointing the other way, showing they're coming around. They're going around and around. The 7 card, 8 card, explanation card. Again, they show both the 2 worlds. They created the center world. Now in this card, take a look what happens to the center world. All you see is the 2, 4, 6, 8. You see the 5 and 6 going east-west. Let me show you where my finger is. Go across. That's east-west. Look. You see the fish swimming, 5 of them that way? But when you turn it this way in the card, you get the other perspective from the center, because now you've created the 2, 8. Let me take my pen. Do I have a pen here somewhere? 2, 8, 4, 6. This is it. And the 8 card, that's the heaven card. It shows you exactly what's happening. The beta world, the split heavens. Okay, why do you have split heavens? Why is heaven 8? Well, it's in between God the Creator, 7, who ends up in the center at the end, and the 9. 9 means what comes from creation, and it's the 4 and the 6. That's what comes from the creation. And you see the 3 that are upside down, 3 that are upside down. Those are also 31, 3 days that add to 28, 31 days. The 5 months. The diamond card, it's very special, the diamond card. Okay, this is the electrical card of God. This is all His power and all His might. This shows both worlds, because the diamond is both ways. It can show both sides. Okay, now I'm not sure if it's showing both worlds or both sides, but the diamond's still the same. That means the center can now count for the south, as well as the north, as well as the east and west. They're all the same 4 ways. This is your 7 card, and this is the way it goes. Okay, do you understand those diamonds? This is one of the reasons, okay, for the leap year, because this card had to count twice. Not only that, a diamond shows north and south, it can go, or east and west, which are 2 ways. So add 2 days on for the leap year. The Jack, Queen, and King. Well, the Jack is the player of the game. The Queen is Mother Nature, and the King is the one who created the game. The King's number, we all said, is 7. The angles, or the angels, are 4. So if the King has all 4 corners, and he is the number 7, that makes 7, 4, 11. But with man 6, okay, who needs the 5 dice? Man 6 who needs the 5 dice. Why does he need the 5 dice? Because the 5 dice is what creates that center dot there. That creates the 5. So if man 6, why man 6? Because I told you God has 4 corners and himself. And I told you one of the corners is spirit, for creation of the God of whatever he gives birth to. It's 9. 9 is the complete function of birth. The 9 lives of the cat, that's a complete function. Which, like I said, 1, 3, you need 1 and 3. Therefore, with the connection between 1 and 3, you can create 2, the beta world, because 1 is spirit. You connect the spirit, you connect the wiring, you take the plumbing, you take the nails, you take the hammers, whatever you take, you're creating the spirit, you're creating the connect. Okay? And whatever you build will go on the other line. What you're creating to connect, beta to build, and whatever you build comes out of 9 and goes east-west. What you build goes up. The rest goes east-west. Jack, Queen, King. The Queen, okay, is the 12th letter in the Queen, the Q letter is the 17th letter in the alphabet, which means Spirit of God, okay, because there is no Spirit of God in the nature if God don't show up. It'll only be the Spirit of the nature, the Spirit of the soul, that creates itself, well, mixed up with the elements of space. They're all there, separate us all, and we are just what we are. We become no more, we become no less, but we can't survive on ourselves, otherwise we'd use ourselves up. Usually the reproductive system is a little bit longer than the one that rejects. 1 second. So, the Jack, the Queen, so yeah, so the Queen, okay, is the 12th card in the deck, since the man is playing with the deck in the blue world, and the 12th letter in the alphabet is L, and that stands for life. Now the L is also part of the I group, because the line of the I that goes to the right, you also have one that stands with the L, okay? So they sort of have the same position. Oh, you don't think that we can cut our letters in half? You don't think we can split the C? Does anyone want to know? You know, I'm going to jump all over. And one of the reasons for blackjack in this world, and for anything that's black in this world, is because I'm going to show you right here. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. Here I'm showing you the basic diagram of 2 4 dice. Okay, the 2 empty dots in the center are the 4 and 6 at this point. And if you look in the center, there's a 5. Look, it's a 5. It's a 5. But in all reality, if you look what you actually see that's not connected, is the lamed. The lamed, the Hebrew lamed, that means heart. That means 608, which means man of the heavens of Zion, which means king. The lamed. What else did the lamed say? Oh my God, I can't believe I remembered to do this. 4288. Hold on a second. Yeah, I'm backing up. Lamed, yes. 608. Then it says 32 Eve. Lamed says 32 Eve. And the reason Lamed says 32 Eve, okay, is for this reason. I'm going to show you 32 Eve. Don't forget that. Lamed shows 32 Eve because the 4 dice here, okay, when you put a center spot to it, okay, each one of those dark blackened dots, they have 8 worlds in them. There's 4. That's 32 Eve on this planet, okay? That is 32 Eve. I got to mark it down. I just thought of it a minute ago. 32 Eve. 32 Eve. And never mind. There's more than just that. There's 4 places where the black dice are. It's actually 64 Eve. 64 Eve. Anyways, what else am I going to show you here? Is it on this page? The lamed. Okay. The lamed. Then it says 19. And it says 19 spirit. The only way you get a 19 spirit is you have to create it. So in all actuality, God went 379. God created and he came up with 9. The spirit is what he created was 1. The spirit connects all the other angles. So he had to create also spirit for man, so he had created another one for man. And that's why the pool ball 1 is the soul of the man, the yellow man, of who we are on this planet. Touch, touch, touch. I touch me. There was something else that was rather funny I saw, is that this is very hard. I'm going to try and point it out to you. You see those on the right side where my finger is not here? Here. Oh, here. Yeah. You see the little square that you see, and then above it you see sort of like an eye, and below it you see an eye. Doesn't it look like an eye or an exclamation point? Doesn't that look like an eye or an exclamation point? I'm going to explain what that is. That's the tic-tac-toe board broken down. I'm going to show you. That's the tic-tac-toe board broken down, and what it reveals to you after you break it down is everything has a little square on it. You see that on the right of your screen? It looks like the H. It looks like the C has been split. That tic-tac-toe board is what our entire mastery of this world is. That is the pastry. That is everything.